Welcome back to American Horror Notes, the most disturbing corners of real American crime, the cases that haunt entire cities, split the nation, and leave questions that echo for decades. Today's case is one of the most chilling disappearances in modern California history, a case that unfolded in broad daylight, at Christmas time, in a quiet neighborhood, a case where the perfect marriage revealed a terrifying crack, and a case that still divides the true crime community to this day, the disappearance and murder of Laci Peterson. And the question: did Scott Peterson get away with murder, or was he wrongfully convicted? Let's go back to where the nightmare began. It was 2002 in Modesto, California, a calm suburban city wrapped in orchards, small-town charm, and Christmas decorations. Laci Peterson, 27, was a glowing, energetic substitute teacher. Her husband, Scott Peterson, 30, was a smooth-talking fertilizer salesman. From the outside, they were the postcard couple, a young marriage, a baby boy on the way. Due in February, they had even picked out his name. Friends said Laci was radiant during her pregnancy. She was excited for motherhood. She decorated the nursery, she baked holiday cookies, she talked about baby names and tiny clothes. Modesto saw a picture-perfect marriage, but as we would later learn, that picture had shadows no one noticed. December 24, 2002, a cold California morning. The kind of morning where you see your breath outside and the world feels still. Scott said he left home around 9:30 a.m. to go fishing alone at the Berkeley Marina, about 90 miles away. He said Laci was preparing to take their golden retriever, Mackenzie, for a walk, but sometime between morning and afternoon, Laci vanished. Her purse, keys, wallet, all untouched inside the house. Her car, in the driveway. No signs of a struggle. Only Mackenzie was found, wandering the neighborhood with his leash still attached. That detail shook everyone. It was as if the walk had been interrupted mid-step. Later that evening, Laci's stepfather made the 911 call that would ignite one of the largest searches in California history. Scott appeared on TV, pleading for Laci's return. He joined search parties. He spoke to reporters. But people noticed something strange. He didn't sound desperate. He smiled too often, too comfortably for a man whose pregnant wife was missing. And then the cracks began to show. Police learned Scott had quietly purchased a small aluminum boat just 2 weeks earlier. A boat even Laci's family didn't know existed. Then came the bombshell that shattered the illusion of the perfect couple. Scott Peterson had a mistress. Her name was Amber Frey, a massage therapist from Fresno. Scott told her he was a widower, that his wife was dead. He said this before Laci ever disappeared. When Amber saw Scott's face on the news, realizing the truth, she immediately called police. She agreed to secretly record every phone call with him. In one recorded call, on New Year's Eve, the night the family held a vigil for Laci, Scott pretended to be in Paris, describing fireworks he was watching in the background. The public turned on Scott instantly. The grieving husband now looked like a man hiding a double life. For 4 long months, California searched for Laci. Flyers, posters, candlelight vigils. Entire communities mobilized. Then, on April 13, 2003, the nightmare took a horrifying turn. A passerby walking near the San Francisco Bay shoreline spotted a body. It was the remains of a full-term infant, a baby boy. The next day, less than a mile away, the partial remains of an adult female washed ashore. DNA confirmed what everyone feared. It was Laci, and the newborn-sized body was Kona. Right near the Berkeley Marina, the same place Scott claimed he had gone fishing on Christmas Eve. Police arrested Scott shortly afterward. He had dyed his hair blonde and was carrying $15,000 in cash. Scott Peterson's 2004 trial was a nationwide sensation, a legal circus watched by millions. But here's the crucial detail. There was no forensic evidence, no determined cause of death. The entire case was circumstantial. But the prosecution had something powerful, a motive. They argued Scott wanted freedom from his marriage, from impending fatherhood, from responsibility. Amber Frey was the escape he desired. They said he killed Laci at home, transported her body in his truck, placed her in his secret boat, and dumped her into the bay with handmade concrete anchors. The defense claimed Laci was abducted by burglars near the home. After a week of deliberations, Scott Peterson was found guilty of first-degree murder for Laci, guilty of second-degree murder. For baby Connor, he was sentenced to death. Scott spent 15 years on death row at San Quentin. But in 2020, the California Supreme Court overturned his death sentence, not because of new evidence, but because of jury misconduct during selection. His conviction still stands, but he now serves life without parole. Today, true crime communities, podcasters, and legal experts continue debating the same haunting question. Was Scott Peterson rightfully convicted? Or was the case poisoned by media frenzy, public rage, and a mistress who changed everything? Some believe he is a cold, calculating killer who planned the murder of his pregnant wife. Others insist the evidence was too thin, that the perfect suspect doesn't always mean the right suspect. But one fact remains, and the last person known to see them alive was Scott Peterson. Is Scott Peterson exactly where he belongs? Or are there missing pieces still buried under the waves of the San Francisco Bay? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.